Yale. Brown. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to Yale. Before I talk about why I chose Yale, I just want to give a few reasons why I didn't choose Brown or Williams, which were the two other schools that I was trying to decide between. Both Brown and Williams are amazing schools, and I'm absolutely honored to be accepted to both of them. Um, but Yale came out on top, and here's why. Here's why for Williams. I come from a really small town, and it would be like leaving my small town to go to another small town. I'm in love with Williams, though, and it is an absolutely amazing school. I participated in a math program there over the summer after my junior year, and I connected with one of the professors, and I fell in love with the school. I just think, given my options, I had better choices. Um, I still love Williams, and I still am honored to be accepted there. I just think that it's a little too small for me. Here's why I didn't choose Brown. So, again, super honored to be accepted to Brown, and honestly, I was more excited to be accepted to Brown than to Yale because of Brown's open curriculum. And I really love learning, and that's what I'm going to college to do. So having an open curriculum would be amazing for someone like me. Um, but I realized that in college, you can't study everything that you want to. I have interests in not just math and computer science, but also chemistry and theater and much, much more. And I had this idea that I was going to be able to study everything that I wanted to, and that's just not true. And so when I was comparing the difference between an open curriculum and a curriculum where you do have course requirements, it became more clear to me that that didn't have as much weight as I thought it did because I was going to have to make the same tough choices about what I want to study. Um, and so I began to compare departments, I began to compare student life, and every comparison that I made, Yale came on top just by a hair. It's pure math. Yale's pure math department is slightly better than Brown's. Yale's computer science department is slightly better. And I visited Yale and Brown both, and I just like the feel of the Yale campus more. I like the residential college system. Um, so that's kind of why I chose Yale over Brown. So now going into things I love about Yale. I love the residential college system. It is absolutely amazing. I didn't realize how much I loved it until I went and I saw it for myself. I have a friend there, and she just showed me all over the campus, and I fell in love with it. Another great thing about Yale is that its pure math department is pretty small, and I wouldn't be able to do research in college. So there's not going to be a lot of competition when it comes to getting research because the department's so small. So I'm really excited to be able to do research. Another thing I love about Yale, as silly as it sounds, is the libraries. These libraries have so many amazing study spaces, more amazing than you can imagine. I had my friend take me up to the top of the library where there are these book stacks, and at the end of the book stacks, they have these tiny little cubby holes, and those were what made me decide that that's where I wanted to be. I could just see myself sitting there, studying, writing code, doing math. That's one of the things that I really loved about Yale. So along with this update video, it was requested that I give some of my stats, so I'm going to do that now, but before I do, I want to preface it just with the fact that stats don't define who you are as a person. Um, you can be brilliant and have low stats, and you can be not so brilliant and have really high ones. They don't define who you are, and you should never ever feel bad about yourself if you have low stats, and you shouldn't feel better than everybody else because you have high ones, because it's just not the way it goes. They're tests, they don't define your intelligence. There might be a correlation, but they don't define you. Alright, so here are mine. my ACT, I have 35, composite and super score, and my highest English was a 36, my highest science was a 36, my highest math was a 35, and my highest reading was a 33. On the SAT, I got a 1530, my math score was an 800, and my reading score was a 730. I took 3 SAT subject tests. I took Math 2, Chem, and Molecular Biology. In chemistry, I got an 800. In molecular biology, I got a 740, and in chemistry, I also got a 740. I did take the writing on the ACT. I got an 8. It doesn't seem like the ACT writing has much pull on your college decisions. I thought I'd share some of my essays that I wrote for Yale and Brown and Williams because I watched essay videos during my college process. I'm not going to share all of them because some of them are very personal and I don't feel like sharing them publicly. But both Yale and Brown had a "Why are you drawn to your future area of study?" So I thought I would share that, what I wrote for Brown and Yale. I said, "I love mathematics because it is both concrete and abstract. Different branches of math are tethered together by knowledge that supersede my comprehension, yet it follows concrete logic that makes that which we know to be absolute. Math is paradoxical with the capacity to be coldly rigid and a minute later, breathtaking and thought-provoking. The fact that mathematical language can prove theorems beyond intuition is what really astonishes me. It's so beautiful that simple, logical steps have brought us to know such unintuitive truths as the shape of the Mandelbrot set or the Stirling-Wallace approximation, and though I may understand their derivations, I have yet to grasp their exact natures. Truths as these require more than just logic to understand. They require creativity. Mathematics, the synthesis of logic and creativity, is the truest form of art I know. In addition to mathematics, I would also love to study computer science. Although I'm much less experienced in computer science than I am in math, it follows a certain logic and rhythm that comes very naturally to me. What I find fascinating is the way that the fields are intertwined. Computers have already aided in proofs of the four-color theorem and the Kepler conjecture, but they are yet to construct proofs. Computers have enough memory to check millions of lines of code, but they are not yet clever. The process in which humanity can make computers clever enough to construct proofs is what really has piqued my interest." So that was my why I want to study math and computer science essay, and I thought it was pretty good. Yale and Brown were the only Ivies that got that essay, and they were the only ones that I got into. Obviously, correlation there, but I don't know how much of it rests on this one essay. So I'm going to read 2 more essays. I'm going to read the Why Open Curriculum or Why Brown essay and the Why Yale essay. So I'll start with the Why Brown. "If I attended Brown, I'm certain I could develop current hobbies, computer science, biochemistry, and more, into areas of expertise without the burden of credit requirements. With Brown's open curriculum, I would be able to learn enough computer science to code a neural network and understand artificial intelligence with classes like deep learning and artificial intelligence. I could learn more about CRISPR and learn what limits the growth of life on Earth and techniques and analysis using DNA-based biotechnology and terrestrial biogeochemistry and the functioning of ecosystems. I could do all this while maintaining a concentration in mathematics and hopefully doing RUs in preparation for graduate school. I would have the responsibility of constructing my education to fit my own pursuits of curiosity, which has always been a dream of mine. In the math community, I would love to be able to participate in Math Doug, which is truly unique to Brown. I would go to every meeting to share my mathematical passions with Brown's math community. I could listen to presentations about Klein bottles, Galois theory, and loop spaces. What is a loop space? And perhaps give talks of my own. Past just math, I would hope to contribute my entire unique educational experience to the community. I love being curious and sharing what I learned with friends, family, and anyone that will listen, and I would be honored to be able to contribute my curiosity to the overflowing pool of it that Brown has to offer. Now I will read my Why Yale, and this one is much shorter because I only had 125 words for this, which is not that many, but I will read it anyway. I love the unique way that Yale cares about their students individually. I'm told by a Yale friend that the dean of our college is extremely accessible and always puts students' needs first. The close-knit residential colleges appeal greatly to me as I thrive when I have strong connections to those around me. I additionally love that Yale offers liberal arts style education. I value being well-rounded, so being able to strengthen my diverse interest base with this type of education would be exciting. I'm also applying to Yale for its undergraduate math research program, Summary, and the Direct Reading program. Both would provide invaluable mentorship and allow me to discover new mathematics. So those are just a few of the types of things that got me into Yale, Brown, and Williams. I think if I have any advice for how to write good essays, it's to make them very specific to your own interests. I originally wrote the Brown Open Curriculum essay very, very broadly. Anybody could have sent in that essay. And if I would have sent in that with my application, I probably wouldn't have gotten in. But I went back and I wrote about the things that interest me, biochem and artificial intelligence. Um, these are the things that interest me, and I wanted to show Brown that I have those interests and that I wanted to go to their school to take advantage of their resources to be able to educate myself more on those interests. Um, the Yale essay that I wrote was less specific to me, but I did make sure that I had the little section at the end that says, I want to go to your school to do research in mathematics, and here are the ways that I would do that. Um, I'm not going to share any of the essays that I wrote for Williams, but it was in a very similar style. It's just a little too personal to share that one. I may share my Common App essay, not sure yet. If I do, it'll be a different video because it's obviously a much longer essay. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you all support my decision to go to Yale. It's crazy, it's surreal. I really can't believe it. I'm super, super proud to be a future Bulldog. Bula bula. See you later.